Can you just talk about Jimmy Butler's performance? Seemed like he got things started for you guys. 19 points in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, the way he started, even the way he ended the first half, he just stamped his authority and his skill package and his will, pick whatever words you want. He was all over that game. And, you know, the mood in the locker room, as we went through sort of an early shoot-around, our version of shoot-around before, you could sense the serious side. They got the moment. And I think he got it as much as anybody and led us. He was a tremendous leader, and his performance mirrored his attitude.
Ben Mellis, the pick and roll. Brett, can you just speak about the performance of Ben tonight, and especially that first quarter? It seemed like he came out with that disposition you're always talking about and was really pushing it at both ends.
He was our bell ringer tonight. You know, I thought Mike Scott off the bench was outstanding. I mean, it's stupid when you look at Joel's plus minus to be a plus 40 is hard to do. And then you see, you know, Jimmy Butler's performance that Keith just spoke about. And so for Ben to be our bell ringer with some of those other performances sort of confirms what I think he did tonight. His no turnovers, his attack mode, his 4 offensive rebounds, his push and pace on missed shots especially. All those things were what made him be an NBA All-Star at 22 years old. And I thought he was excellent tonight, and we needed it all.
Brett, Paul Hudger from NBC Sports Philadelphia. With Joel, obviously he was tremendous defensively. Didn't seem like he got in the post maybe as much. Was that strategic, or you think that was just something with him and what he saw?
I think a little bit of both. Excuse me. I think a little bit of both. When you're trying to, if you think you're going to go just beat up on and pound it into, you know, somebody that's being defended by a defensive player of the year as Marc Gasol is, that's a hard way to score always. And so, you know, whether you ducked him in, whether you pick and rolled him into sort of that honey spot, that foul line area, or you went a direct post, you know, you can pick different ways that he would get his touches. But to suggest like he didn't get the ball with his back to the basket on Marc Gasol a lot, this is true. And some of it was him, you know, reading the game. Some of it was me not wanting to put him always in that situation. And I thought he was just brilliant, kind of all over the place, although it doesn't sort of look it on an offensive stat sheet.
Hey, Brett. Jason Blevins, Philly front office. So going back to Joel's defense and impact on his team, but really, does he have an impact on opposing teams as well as a sort of deterrence, a presence back there? Does he change the way people attack or their confidence level? It just seemed like tonight he was a plus 40 in really his first maybe 30 minutes. There seems to be an ebb and flow when he's in the game and when he's not in the game. What is the impact that he's really got? Is it purely tactical?
Where do I begin? So your question kind of surprises me because it's clear the impact he has on the game. Like we get what he does at the rim. It's significant. You know, when he goes out, lots of times, look what happens. And so, of course, like, you know, he's got an incredible defensive impact on a game. If you're looking at sort of people behind you, if you're pick 'em, Kawhi, Kyle, whatever, if you see him, you're probably going to think a little bit more about what you want to do. What's your plan? And his importance to our team is obvious. Tonight you saw a healthier Joel Embiid. And for that sort of example, for that sort of situation of him and his health, he comes out and has a plus 40. It's a huge number. It's a huge plus-minus number in a playoff game. His significance is felt all over the place.
Sarah Todd, Philadelphia Inquirer, on your left, Brett.
My left. Hi, Sarah.
Hi. I'm wondering what went into the decision to go with Boban tonight off the bench rather than what you'd been doing before.
I mean, it really hasn't been consistent. We're searching to find an answer for the eighth man. And so, like, we've tried Amir, you know, we've played Furkan earlier, you've played Greg Monroe, who I thought, you know, did okay. And so you're kind of searching a little bit. There wasn't anybody that, like, put their hand up and, like, grabbed that spot. And it didn't help us, obviously. That was a hard 4 minutes for Boban. And I felt like we pivoted out of it quickly, and it could have been a tough environment. But ultimately, you know, we are in pursuit of who is the eighth man. And I'm pausing purposefully. And it's not clear. And so we decided to try Boban, and, you know, the plus minus says what it says, and the game changed quite a bit. And I have to think this through. Like, do you go with 7 players, maybe, you know, or do you just go back to, like, who is the eighth man? And for that reason, we tried to go with Boban and see. And I'll do the same thing as far as thinking who that is for Game 7s, for the next Game 7.
Brett, back to Ben for a second. You had obviously defended him over the last couple of days after what happened in Game 5. Do you view tonight as he needed to play better, he played better, he hadn't played well, so now he decided to play better, or is it more kind of a continuum? You know, he's a young developing player, he's going to come around eventually and play a good game, and it's just simply a matter of time. Like,
That's my answer, Mike. It's not even close. He's 22 years old, you know, and his game, as he grows his shot and tries to get a better command of his position and deals with, you know, the stage of the NBA playoffs, shame on us for thinking like he's going to be all day, every day. Here he is, and he's just going to go knock it out of the park. Like, it's just not fair. So what he did today was lots of the reasons he was an NBA All-Star at age 22 as an NBA point guard with the ball. And I thought that on missed shots and him pushing it, he was really good. I thought him getting us organized out of our offense after they made a shot was really good. I really loved his no turnovers, and I really loved his offensive rebounds. I thought those two things, amongst all those comments I just made, are what stood out the most. And to your original point, it's the evolution of a 22-year-old 6'10" point guard that used to be a college four-man. I see it very clearly.
Last one. Brett, is this what you think they brought Jimmy here for? Doing what he's done in this series, doing what he did in a closeout game tonight, and is this what a max contract guy does?
I mean, I'm not going to comment on the contract. What I can comment on clearly and easily is, and I've said this before, there is an adult in the room when he's on the court. You know, the athletic plays that he makes, the physical plays that he makes, he's a tank, and he's just so strong. And when he has that sort of laser focus and you got that body to back it up, incredible things happen offensively and defensively. And then you, like, drip feed in, like, he has that mind. He's got that sort of attitude. That's a hell of a package. And so, you know, translate that to whatever that means from a contract standpoint, from a head coach's standpoint. I go to all those things, leadership, skill, and so on. And there was just an adult in the room, you know, in a Game 6 closeout game that has allowed us to go play and have an amazing experience. You know, like playing, I've been fortunate to be in a few Game 7s, and they're very unique. They're special. They are a life lesson, a life opportunity, and he sure allowed us to better achieve that.
Thanks, Brett.
Thank you.